backstage. We're here with Spencer and Steve from Morning Harvey. How you guys going?
Very good.
Good, thanks, man. Excellent.
For those at home, where are we at the moment?
We are sitting in a hut on the river.
This is my home studio.
Yes.
My little hovel. It's on the back of my house.
It's where we've been recording a fair bit of our debut record.
And that's due out when next year?
Hopefully early on next year. Probably, yeah. We're looking around March time.
Excellent.
But yeah, if everything goes to plan.
Firstly, for those who aren't aware of Morning Harvey, can you guys describe the kind of sound you guys give and also your live shows?
I think the sound, if it was described in any way, it's just kind of an eclectic mash of whatever we're influenced at the time, like whether it be music or, film or what we've experienced or something like that. I wouldn't be able to pinpoint what we're actually, what the sound we're creating is, but hopefully when people listen to it, it's Morning Harvey. It's I think that's what we're trying to get across.
Okay. And what have you been inspired by recently? Which is then obviously going to project onto the album when it comes out.
Everything, man. I think it's what I was trying to think about, because it's a very common question to be asked in interviews. Not that but I think about it quite often as well. I think maybe it's the best way to describe it is, how people look at dreams and stuff like that, how your brain, you pick up information even though that you don't realize it. And it's like when you have a dream, it's a mash of all these things that you could have even seen years ago, but somehow it reflects in that dream. So I think all the inspiration for the music is like that. It's kind of, I'll see something, or I'll write something down or record something into my phone, and that will all make it out into the final piece. So yeah,
something from the subconscious,
the
surreal and the unreal, and trying to put it back onto reality.
But there's going to be some bands that you guys look up to as a band. Is there been any sounds that you've gone, that's really cool if we are in the ballpark of that, or is it all just we want to be Morning Harvey?
I think it's a collection of everything. I think when you hear some music that you really like, or have a really nostalgic, album that brings you back to a certain point in your life, you go, for instance, if Steve and I are sitting down trying to find a tone or something, I'll be like, well, maybe we should go back and listen to this song, and maybe that will fit in. It could even be like a hip-hop song that you go I really like the tone of that guitar, I really like the synth that's going in. So it can be anything, really. I don't think it has to be a sound that you're trying to put out. I don't think it's a sound you have to achieve. I think it's whatever you think will work. What do you think, Stu?
I get influenced all the time, listening to music stuff, listening to different songs. Little bits always stick out to me. As an engineer, I'm sort of so pedantic about the way things are sonically, and I don't know, I get influenced from everywhere. It's hard to say where those influences end up, but I don't know.
Have you ever vetoed some of Spencer's sounds because you've gone as an engineer, that's just not going to work?
All the time, yeah.
We have little scraps all the time.
But it works. We get there.
Yeah. It's like that, but it's at the end of the day, you kind of I'm glad it's like this.
We both know what we want.
Yeah.
We just hope we get there.
Just different ways to get there. Cool. You guys recently released a new single, Suzanne Monday, which I think is the second single from the upcoming album. It's a great track full of killer hooks and pretty relatable lyrics. Firstly, are you happy with the reception that it's had, both in Australia and abroad?
Totally.
Yeah.
Just, you never know when you release a single or release anything, it's what the reception's going to be like. And so far, so good.
A song like Suzanne Monday, it's really satisfying to get it out there, because it's a song that people can latch onto pretty easily, and when they do, it's rewarding to see people enjoy a song like that.
even if one person goes, "Hey man, I like your song," it's like,
I like your song, Spencer. I like it.
yeah, well, look, that makes me happy. Job done.
Speaking of one people liking your song, you guys actually did it pretty big with your previous EP. I get the name Love and Love End over in the States. You got a pretty good reception. Was that a surprise, or was that always the plan for Morning Harvey to take the US college scene by storm?
I think it was always we were always planning to go that direction, or trying to do that once we had the foundations in Australia, which, you know, it's slowly working to that. But yeah, it was kind of like a bit of a last minute thing really for us, because we'd kind of come to the end of our touring cycle and everything with the EP, and you know, we'd done pretty much exhausted sort of what you do once, you know, you release a piece of like an album or an EP in, you know, your own country. But we just got given the opportunity to do it and get it plugged over there, and it was kind of, you know, it happened relatively quick for us to hear it getting played in college radio and stuff like that, and, you know, kind of the KEXPs and KCRWs, and it was all those radio stations that we really like enjoy. To see them actually responding well to your music is a real pat on the back.
So is a States tour on the cards anytime soon?
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day,
It's not
yeah.
in the pipeline just yet.
Not just yet.
They've got to come to you, not you go to them, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
It's just got to reach deeper into the pocket.
Definitely.
Or someone else's pocket.
Or someone else's pocket.
Oh yeah, we're looking for crowdfunding.
Yeah.
We'll get back onto the subject of Suzanne Monday and its lyrics, and I'm going to quote what you guys have said about it just so I don't get it incorrect. You've said the song is a social cultural critique from witnessing observed behaviour on social media and in public in the increasingly prevalent vanity of our modern world. Firstly, Spencer, what kind of behaviour are you talking about there?
I think it's obviously just me being a crabby arsehole, but I guess trying to get my point across about how uncomfortable it makes me feel to how people act on social media or on any kind of platform nowadays. I guess it feels very unnatural to me for people to seek you know, I guess approval and you know, get, I guess everything that people post is just really, well, most people self-absorbed, I guess. Even if it's a birthday thing or something like that, it's just seeking that, you know, that click or that like or yeah.
Gratification kind of thing.
I sort of see it as people getting distracted from what's actually happening in real life. They get their verification from clicking like on something that makes it, you know, rather than say something to someone's face, they've just done it online, and it sort of removes that from reality.
So you guys very careful what you post on your social media channels as a band then?
Yeah, well, it's more just like it that comes obviously with being in a band. You know, you've got to have that platform there.
That's one of the good things about it, is that people have the chance to
reach,
communicate with people they want to, like bands and artists and stuff. It's great, but it's more the interpersonal thing when you and your friend only fucking talk over Facebook and you don't actually meet up or anything.
Yeah, and I guess when you're in sort of not on the social media platform, in real life you've got, like, when you're out with someone or you're in a bar, as you said before, it's when people aren't talking, what else do you do? It's like you whack out your phone, or even being at a show, you know, and when you're looking at a band that you've been longing to see for, you know, God knows how many years or something like that, and everyone has got their phone up.
Yep.
And it's like, well, you're here. Memory's the best thing you have. Why? Yeah. Anyway, it's more just, I'm just a crab, and I'm just, grumpy old man in my early 20s. Yeah. Don't get me started.
Yeah. I've got another question, but I think we'll move on for that one. The new single, Suzanne Monday, does see you guys sound, I guess, less David Bowie-ish than you did in your previous single, Lights, Camera, Gina, and a little more vocal orientated, a little more vocal heavy than Smith Street Swap Meet. So considering that, what can we expect to hear on the upcoming album? Is it going to be a mixture of all those things, or more Suzanne Monday than anything else?
It's a mixture of everything, really. It's kind of, I think it's the first time for us to really kind of cut a filter out in like the whole production and songwriting process, where there's that little thing in the back of your mind going, should you do that, or will people like that, or that kind of stuff, which I guess everyone feels at some point. It's more just like trying to erase that feeling of second guessing something,
going with your instinct. I feel like there's a lot of songs that are pushing forward with that attitude, like just doing what feels right. But there's still songs and moments that are really harking back to that sound that Morning Harvey's always had. What is dreamy guitars and sort of more washed out vocals, a bit more spacey.
Yeah, I think it's more the achievement of trying to getting something a lot more direct, and that I guess people can really latch on to, which I'm not saying that the last EP was not trying to achieve that, but it's just it's a different direction, I think, to keep everything naturally progressive is to try different things and to step out of your comfort zone all the time.
Definitely. Segueing comfortably into comfort zones and whatnot. I read an interesting live review of you guys from The Music, which describes Spencer's dance moves on stage. I'll sum it up by saying there's a lot of gyration, heavy dance moves. Yeah. When did that start happening with you on stage, and are you going to continue to gyrate, or have you got some new dance moves coming up for the tour?
He's been gyrating since he was born.
Yeah.
Straight out, just shaking his hips.
That's how we got out of the womb.
Yeah. Exactly. No.
What's the inspiration behind the gyration?
I don't think there's anything that has inspired it in any way, but I guess I'd look like more of an idiot if I was just standing there. That's how I'd like to think about it, because well, that's what's going on in my head. If I'm just standing still, I'll look like a doofus. Yeah. No, I think part of it is, as I was saying before, it's a natural progression with, the songwriting and everything like that. We were more of a noisy, dreamy band prior to this, where everything was more looking at your shoes, feeling the mood of the song. Whereas, it's I guess a bit of an up. Well, I guess it's a change. It's a trying to go in a different direction, or trying something new in some way. And I think it just suits the live show as well if, we're expressing ourselves in whatever way comes naturally.
You've also got Lewis in the band, who's also part of the Belligerents and Moses Gun Collective. Recently at Moses Gun shows, Lewis and the band have done some choreographed stage moves, I guess. Yeah. Is that something, because Lewis is also in this band, is that something that he's going to try and bring into this?
No. They can do whatever they want. I just look, that it's fabulous to see,
So no Macarena on stage with
no, and that's their thing. But yeah, I think it's more of a what we're trying to achieve is more just of a I guess so, like a cohesive end product.
Moses and Louis and those guys are trying something different. Like they're going out on a limb, and it's awesome, and it works, and it gets people's attention, which is great. But that's them, and as close as we all are, it's not going to cross over.
I was just wondering how much of an influence Louis has over his bands, I guess.
He's got plenty of influence on the songs that he writes, but no, we don't need to do dance choreographed dance moves.
Yeah, but then again, performance is a huge part of being in a band as well. It's where people are really going to fall in love with your band or not fall in love with your band.
Or just your hips even.
My hips, even though I don't have any. It's more just I guess it's trying to push out what your band is. Pretty much, that's the thing.
So I've got one more question for you guys, and try to be the funny thing. What's the best way to wake up according to Morning Harvey?
Steve?
With the big hot cup of Joe, for me.
Very much the same as Steve.
Drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah. Mocha Master.
Mocha Master. If I could have one sponsorship, Mocha Master. I'll take a few more machines.
Mocha Master, yeah, it's a great coffee machine, and it's helped. It's definitely helped with the
recording
the
process.
easy pace of this album.
Morning Harvey wouldn't be here if not for the Mocha Master.
The Mocha Master, yes.
Also, Single Guys in Kenmore. Don't know if you're watching.
Yeah.
I was there this morning. Had to go and get my fresh beans, make the fresh pots.
Fresh part.
But
Yeah.
you've been watching Triple O Backstage. We've been here with Morning Harvey. Their debut album is out sometime next year, and catch them live throughout September touring Australia. See you later.
I got the hell